Hey, look out. It's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe. Look who's frozen on the screen with us. Hey.
Who is that guy?
I'm unfrozen. I'm just pretending.
Okay.
It's Ken. And it's not even Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
If you're watching Facebook Live, YouTube, listening on the radio, while we were setting up, Ken kept freezing and unfreezing. So we're talking about that he's unfrozen, which he thinks is a sequel to Frozen, the movie.
Yeah. It should be. I mean,
So
isn't there already a Frozen 2? So that would that still be a sequel if it's the third one?
Yeah, it's the end of the trilogy, maybe.
Yeah, maybe there. And then instead of let it go, it's go get it. Go get it. That's the new song.
Hold on to it.
Hold on to it. Hold on to it.
Hey, is that like backward masking? Is that what you're talking about? You get it back?
Yeah,
I guess so. And you know, it's like I used to do a bit on rebellion and how, you know, kids rebel. I'm like, what if you're Mick Jagger's kid? How do you rebel against that? You know, I'm wearing khakis and I'm going to college and you can't stop me. I'm not getting any tattoos. So I don't know.
That's very, very funny. Kenn Kington, KennKington.com. It's good to catch up with Ken. Yeah, it is a Monday, but it's still Ken's Day. Anytime we get Ken, it's a win for us. And we understand that you just had your zeitgeist removed. Congratulations.
That blows my mind. It is funny. And when they use that word, did you just kind of keep going with it and just pretend? Because you feel stupid if you don't know. When somebody uses a word you don't know, you just, oh, yeah. You just kind of go with it to try to sound intelligent instead of going, I have no idea what you talk about. That's pretty
much what we did. We just kind of went on with it. And then when the second person said it, we were like, hold on. Wait a minute. Somebody else used that word just a minute ago. What's up with that?
Yeah. And I always tell people when they do something like that, they'll say a word or use a big word. And I'll just like, man, I would completely agree with you if I had any idea what you're talking about. So I own my ignorance. Owning your ignorance. It makes life a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, that's why I nod a lot on the show every day, because I pretty much don't understand what people are saying.
I thought you were trying to stay awake, but here you are just okay.
It's not unlike the guy on the emergency row on an airplane where they're like, you have to be able to lift 50 pounds, you have to be able to speak English, and you have to do this. I need a verbal yes. And it's so funny when there's international travelers because they just kind of stare at her and shake their head up and down. And it's like, I need a verbal yes. Yeah. And they just shake their head. They have no idea what she's talking about, but she's like, okay, you're going to have to move. So it's just funny. Same thing. When ignorant, just smile and shake your head, which is pretty much Rick's motto of life, I think.
That's it.
Smile and wave, boys.
I want to talk about a number of things. We want to have you on for 2 segments, but we noticed that Kennedy just celebrated her 17th birthday, which blows our mind.
Yes.
She was on the show when she was 11. Wasn't she 11 when she was on years ago?
Yeah, that seems right, because I think it was one of the celebrations we had right after she finished her 5 years post-treatment. And so she was good, and she came down with me, and she did the Rick Pro. I don't know if you remember, she didn't say a whole lot. She just smiled and shook her head. It's like, maybe it's radio. You got to say something. She wasn't a big talker in those situations, but she's a beautiful 17-year-old. And we had daddy-daughter date. We went to lunch and we went shoe shopping because that's what she wanted to do. And that's what little girls will do to you. Dan can relate to that. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go eat a salad and I'm gonna go shoe shopping because I want to. That is effect of a daughter. And we had an absolute blast.
Shopping with women. I love my girls. I love my wife, but please just shoot me. I don't want to stand there while they're trying on every single. Does this make me look fat? I don't know about this. Yeah, no.
I thought
I tell single guys all the time. They're just like, man, I wish I was married. And I'm like, you want to feel married? Here's what you do. You go to the mall and you go to a women's store and you grab a purse off of the sales table and you walk to the back and you stand by the dressing rooms with a purse for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you feel just like you're married. So that's the way.
So true.
It is.
Yes.
That is very, very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, going back to shoes, I of course have all boys. 17, Elijah's 17. What kind of shoes? What does a 17-year-old girl wear? Is it the same?
Well, I'm very fortunate that she saved the fashion shoe part for shopping with Heather, but she needed a new pair of everyday running tennis shoes, so we got to do that. So at least we got to go to some sporting goods stores. Yeah, got a great pair of Boost Adidas, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, these are so comfortable." And she's such a compliant child. She goes, "I don't know, which ones do you like more?" And I'm like, "I don't have to wear them, just you pick." So it was a great experience. We had a blast.
Good.
So she's a junior now. Doc is was he in middle school?
He's a freshman. Well, I guess you call it freshman. I mean, it looks no different than the end of 8th grade because he's still at home. He's still on the computer taking class.
Yeah.
It is fun to watch him do PE on a computer.
How do you do that?
I'm telling you, it's one of the most creative things. I don't know the coach's name, but this guy's brilliant. He's like, okay, put your computer on the floor with the camera pointed at you. And then he says, we're going to do, 20 burpees. And he's got a Zoom of all the kids in the class doing burpees, and he can talk to them while they're doing them. I'm like, that's brilliant. So,
wow.
Yeah, the guy's good.
That's awesome.
Now, is Heather back at school campus, or what is she doing?
They're actually splitting time. They do some on campus and some at home on the computer. So it depends on the day and meetings and this and that. But she's actually been at school and she's been at home. And I don't think anybody's watching this, but one of the cool parts is if you got 5 of the same classes, she will literally, the core piece where she's having to teach, she'll record that. And then she'll do the warm up and the interaction, all that. And then she just hits play with a transition screen and she can be great and she'll look at the Zoom thing or whatever, but she's teaching the exact same thing. And it makes sense because she can say the same thing 5 times and know she didn't miss anything or do anything different. So it's actually it's her about 15 minutes each class to really focus on grading or something else while she's teaching.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you hear today that the worldwide Zoom went down?
Yes.
Zoom went down worldwide.
Yeah, Joshua was in class. He said his first period class, it was fine. And then after that, it's just been, he hasn't been able to get on.
Yeah, so I guess they're going to have to resort to going to school. And actually go to
Has it come to that, Ken?
I know. Desperate times, desperate measures. It's, gosh. And did you guys, I did not see it. Did you hear what the reveal was yesterday from the administration about something to do with a vaccination or update or something? I didn't get to hear it.
I saw that they were going to do something, but I didn't get to hear what it was. No, I was curious to hear though.
Me too. No, let's just live in ignorant bliss. That will be great.
Yeah. I
like that. I'm good at that.
Kenn Kington on the show with us. You're watching Facebook Live, YouTube, and on the radio. I wanted to touch just a bit on, I saw on your Facebook page that I guess you preached a sermon, a message, Carry the Light, and a lot of folks responded about how good it was. What was it about?
Well, that was the title?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Watching another pastor.
Oh, it was Larry Kington. I'm sorry.
Larry King. That's great. No, I actually did. And we can go into great detail, but I mentioned last time on the show that I was finishing up and we were going to press with a pre-release copy of the book. Every day is a bonus. And I actually finished the book, and this last Sunday I did a portion of it and the pre-release copy, and I'm already getting some great feedback from it. And I really, it was out of, I guess, a little bit of experience. I thought, I want to do a pre-release. In other words, like 100 copies to people who care and know, and I know they're going to read it, and I know they're going to be honest and fix edits. And I've already today, it was just yesterday, and I've had several people, it's an easy read, read the book, and they found little pieces that are already just typos and edits that need to be made that the 7 editors missed, which is really funny. And there's a couple really funny ones. But I asked them, I said, here's the deal. In books, they usually have great quotes pulled out of a chapter that they bold and put in the middle of a page once every other chapter or so. And I said, it's so close to me, I don't know what those are. So already had people send in a bunch of those quotes, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a great point. So It's been a great experience already. The book is done, and it'll come out November 4th, which will be a 4-year anniversary of when I had the open heart surgery. But the pre-release, and if you've got a couple of listeners that are saying, hey, I want to read the book, and I'll help out and edit or whatever, all they got to do is they can send me through info@kennkington.com and say, hey, here's my address, I'd like to read it, and I'll definitely send them a copy with the little here's how to help page on it. But it came out really, really good, and it's already getting some great encouragement. So happy about
Don't you
that.
love
That was
that
what the talk was.
Don't you love that the 7 people that they pay to edit and catch those mistakes missed all those things? What are those people doing with this book?
Well, I think part of it is they just hit spell check because that's what you do, and you kind of trust that. But then you've got words like one of them, and I say, give me the page number and the paragraph and or the sentence, and it said, you said, and Heather out of the clear blue sky, but it was spelled S-K-I. So out of the clear blue ski. So I guess there are literary isms as well. So, I mean, it's an easy fix, but it's one that spell check didn't fit. And all the editors just read it like I do. You're reading like, okay, yeah, sky, I get it. But
clear blue
it's
ski, yeah, of course.
It's a ski. So, and there was a couple others like that where a sentence got repeated. And it's like, okay, why is that sentence in there twice? And everybody missed it, including me. So it's like, all right, what are you going to do?
That's funny.
Kenn Kington on with us. It is Ken's Day, even though it's Monday, and you can go to kennkington.com. Hey, Kenn, we've been talking about the book. You said the book is coming out November, and you've had some folks read it and just kind of catch the typos. What kind of quotes did they pull from your book that they enjoyed that meant something to them? And is it something that you thought they would pull out or no?
No.
Uh-oh.
Kenn has disappeared.
Yeah, he's
back.
I can't pull them up because I'm technologically ignorant. But there were just some great ones that came from what my natural voice, but I would have never picked them out, like inside jokes and knowing somebody personally and just doing life together is really what life is about. It's not the big and the small. And they just picked out some great parts. There's probably, and again, it's been one day and I've already had several people that have been part of this that have sent them in, and I'm still going over all of them. But the big one, and I'd love to get you guys involved as well, is I said, if you'll notice on the cover, it's a great cover, and I'll send you a PDF of it, but it's just every day is a bonus. I said, you'll notice there's not a subtitle, and I want a good subtitle. And that's just my greatest weakness is titles and subtitles. So I said, when you read the book, what is a great subtitle that's going to tell people this is really what it's about and why it's great, and put that. So I'm excited to get those and get those quotes. And next time I come on, I will have a list of those quotes, because there really are pointed pieces that you just shake your head and go, wow, yeah, that's important.
Hey, hey, Dan, do you think we could come up with the next line using zeitgeist in some form or fashion?
We have to now
The
that you mentioned it.
subtitle was
Yes.
zeitgeist. I love it.
The zeitgeist of our times.
Kenn Kington. So November, we're pretty pumped that, and you know, you're the book. I just read this too. Prepare to Find the Love You Desire. Voted one of the top 3 books in the country for singles. How cool is that?
It was very cool. And that book is in like its 9th printing. And I'm actually doing this series with a small group of college and singles I started last week up in West Cobb. And we just crammed into this one room. And I'm not sure social distancing was completely observed. But everybody had been around each other. So it was like, okay, this is all right. But it was so fun to see the light bulbs go off in these young adults and the confusion of the relationship world and online. And
there he goes. Disappeared again.
It's almost like the Wizard of Oz going behind the curtain and you can't see, and then he comes out and there he is, and then he comes back.
I think the ransomware has gotten to Kenn now. They're attacking us.
There he is. Or am I back?
Yeah, you were, but now you're back.
Yes. Where did you lose me? Because I didn't mean to unfreeze.
We left you at it. We lost you at It's Kenn's Day. Hey, welcome to the show.
Well, the Prepare to Find the Love You Desire one. It's just the young adults having that light bulb go off, even in the first session. And there's 9 sessions of just, man, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I need to be looking for, not what TV or media or whatever internet is saying. Because the fatal flaw in online dating is it's not real. You know, people put their best foot forward, and even if some of that's true, the assumption is, well, I'm perfect, so I need to find that. And the reality is got to start with us and letting God perfect us and really become who we were meant to be and prepare us for that special someone. So it is such a joy to work with the young adults, and I'm probably in the fall going to do the full series somewhere. So we'll talk about that another time. So I got books coming out everywhere. It's awesome.
Hey, since it's the ninth printing, I mean, it was written so many years ago. The kid, I'm going to call them kids because I'm 60. The kids that you're talking to now, is it the same challenges, all of them, or are there some new ones that you're having to go, oh, okay, well, maybe think a little bit broader, wider, differently?
That's a great question, Rick. I don't believe the questions have changed. Men and women still have a desire to be in a meaningful relationship. How they get in that relationship has certainly changed, or at least the first couple steps. But I've been so encouraged that, as you say, it's in its 9th printing. It was written a long time ago. It was literally written before some of these people were born.
Wow.
And that makes me feel old. And we did. It was harder because we had to have the chisel and the rock and do each one by hand.
I remember that. Yeah.
But we were able to pull it off. And but it's so cool to me that the principles and the truth that I refer to, it adapts, but it never changes. And it's so cool to see the timelessness of God's truth and the timelessness of relationships and how God really designed them for us to experience fulfillment. And it's awesome to see that it's not. Now, the picture of me on the cover is dated. I will say that. I look way better on that book than I do on this one, the newest one. But the principles all still work.
Now we're talking to Kenn Kington. Now, Kenn, we caught up on the rest of your family, on Kennedy and on Doc. How about the boys, Cody and Graham? What are they up to? Are they back in school, or what are they doing right now?
I can't hear Dan.
I
can't hear Dan at all. What am I doing
Rick,
wrong?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What he asked was, we talked about Kennedy and Doc. What about Graham and Cody? What are they up to?
Oh man, great news there. Graham is working. His whole world is in the music business, and he had 7 different festivals that he was going to work, and an agency he's working with, and all of that went away with COVID. So
Yeah.
he is working double shifts at the West Cobb Diner and just killing it. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to do the best I can. And the other night he came up and he just said, I've been listening to devotions on my way into work. He said, God really impressed my heart. Don't focus on what you're not doing. Don't focus on what you can't control. Go to work and be encouraging, and don't worry about tips, and don't worry about, bad customers. Just serve people and enjoy it. And he was almost to the point of tears when he came up. He said, had some good tables and some bad, but this one table of ladies, he just said, when he took him the bill, they're like, can I ask you a question? He said, sure. They said, why are you so happy? And he just told them, he said, I graduated from college. I'm not getting to do what I want to do. And I just said, God, what do I need to be doing in this time? And he just showed me, this is a great privilege to get to serve people. And I'm just enjoying meeting people like you.
Wow.
And the ladies were like, just so sweet to him, left him a huge tip. And one lady even said, hey, I want to buy the cheapest thing on your menu, and can you run my card? And it was like a drink or something. So she bought a drink to go and left him a $20 tip for a drink.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
It's just like God's favor resting on him is just so cool. And then Cody, they are finally getting to fly, and he's been up in the air, in the airplane. And he texted me last week. He's like, Dad, today was the day. I took off, I flew, and I landed 100% by myself.
Wow.
So they're doing great, and I'm just so proud and excited for them.
How cool. That's great.
It is Kenn's Day, and you can go to KennKington.com, 2 N's, and follow Kenn also on Facebook. And we'll tell you more about the book that's coming up in November. Kenn, we got to go to a break. Let's catch up with you in a few weeks. And we love all your stories, but I think our favorites are your family, because what a huge blessing they are. And what
a zeitgeist they are. Thank you.
That's funny. Hey, let's take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.